How is Settlers Hospitality adapting to the new government mandate?
The new mandate from Governor Wolf's office creates a lot of challenges for us, particularly at the holiday season, but we've been ready for this all week. There's been a lot of conversation, and so I think I'll just take a couple of minutes and talk about, for our customers, what are we doing at our specific businesses. I think people are curious to know about indoor dining versus outdoor dining, and so at Settlers Inn we're moving to a takeout only model, but also introducing some prepared family style meals and also some of our harder to find and locally sourced proteins to go that can be cooked at home. Whereas at Glass Restaurant at Ledges Hotel, we have outdoor spaces that are actually functional and compliant with the governor's orders that will be open on a reservation basis only for outdoor private tables, and that's it. So there's no commingled tables. Everything has recycled air, or no one has recycled air, and everything is going to be outdoors. And but it is reservation only. It'll be limited, but I think for those who enjoy it and want to try it, I think it actually would be a pretty cool experience here for the holidays by the falls. Silver Birches Resort, we're going to go only model and actually launching an app to be completely touchless and paperless in advance. That'll be order, pay in advance, and just pick up. So similar to the curbside model, where we also have our wine shop where we'll be doing cocktails and wine and other things to go along with the food that can offer a full experience just to take home. And so for a holiday version, I think that will still be somewhat successful for our team to be able to execute. And at the Hawley Silk Mill, where there's retail, while we'll be closing our fitness center, the retail shops at a time where people will be spending a lot of time at home, I think we'll be focused on trying to make the most of their holiday. Our retail and gift shops will be open, and also our coffee shop, which has, we're adding more prepared foods that people can grab and go, our bakery, platters, to take home for sandwiches and things like that, as well as the coffee and baked goods for breakfast and lunch that we always have every day. And this weekend, in an outdoor way, we are featuring a holiday market where I think people will be out for the holidays, but want to be very cautious given the number of cases that are out there. And so for local artisans who are going to be selling some of their crafts, and we're going to be utilizing our now available kitchens and doing a soup to go program where we're going to have hot soups that we can have while people walk around outside, and they can buy them by the quart to go, which I think will make for an interesting and kind of fun day for the weekend. And it still is Christmas. I mean, there's a large impact on this, but people want to still be able to do some things, but it's also a daunting time. So we're forced as business owners to balance that out, and so we're still creating offerings. Across all of our hotel businesses, we're continue to be open for lodging, and whereas our restaurant experience cannot be open for those guests, but we have room service and takeout dining that they can have privately, that they take out for themselves. And so for those who want to hunker down in a hotel, whether it's a staycation or a visitor, we have lots of short-term rentals that are houses or cottages or condos that have full kitchens, and people want to cook. So on a concierge basis, we'll be helping them identify ways of stocking those units and coming to visit where they'll have a self-contained holiday season. Some of those units we've even decorated for them. So it won't be a normal holiday season in Northeast Pennsylvania, but as always, we're just going to do the best we can to make the most of it. We're not one to just hunker down and close up shop. And so to the extent that it's compliant and to the extent that it's safe, we're ready.
What is the effect of this mandate going to be on the team?
The new mitigation efforts that Governor Wolf has imposed, they're hard for us to understand in terms of the equitable nature of them from business to business, but with how many cases are out there and the fear and the legitimate health concerns that everyone has, this isn't about, well, why should we be shut down or not? It's just more about they are what they are, and how do we react, and what does that impact have on our team and on our community during the holidays. So the reality is it means 70% of our business is centered in some way, shape, or form around indoor experiences, around food and beverage, around the holidays. And it's the third busiest restaurant month for some of our restaurants of the year. So going into what in January is the slowest month of the year at all of our restaurants. So, we need to take that into account, and the reality is it means over 100 people in our community will be furloughed during the Christmas and New Year's time period. So what we need to do is, we're fighters and we're workers. So how do we deal with that? Well, one is we take advantage of every nickel of opportunity that the government has provided for us. So whether that be unemployment relief, whether that's some of the provisions of the CARES Act, or whether it's maximizing every single thing in our business that we're allowed to safely do to provide employment. So we're going to do all of those things. And I think the reality is it's going to be a different type of holiday, season for many of the locals that work in this industry. And so the rest of our time, we're going to focus on what can we do in the community to pull together and make sure that the team is not only able to maintain their livelihood, but also have some semblance of a holiday. And so it's time for us to bust hump, and instead of doing it for customers, look at different organizations that and suppliers and sponsors and other things that we can do to fill that void in what is normally reserved for a much smaller percent of the population that need help in the Christmas time. And I will say that our elected officials at the state level very much should be looking into how to help us do that. But in the meantime, we're not going to wait for them. We're going to figure out a plan, and we're going to announce it this week and probably today, so that people want to know how to plan. And once they have that plan, we're going to help them.
What are you doing to advocate for the industry with the federal, state, and local government?
Yeah. After March, April, May, June of this year, what we aren't looking to do is go back to the federal government for help. But in essence, that's what we need to do. So, and these recent mitigation efforts, they put us into that zone quicker. So we're going to do that. I think Matt Cartwright at our local level is doing a great job fighting for us. But the timing is just going to be what the timing is. So I would just urge our federal lawmakers to not come home for Christmas until they have something on the table that takes care of the hospitality industry. And above and beyond that, hopefully it does things like mitigates insurance issues that are out there and tort and legal issues that are out there. But I'll be releasing a letter and an advocacy program to our local organizations and officials and at the federal, state, and local level to talk more about that detail. At the state level, the state has had an opportunity and actually has in pocket federal funds from the first legislation that has chosen not to deploy it to the hospitality industry. And so that same state government needs to take a fresh look at that money that was gone back into balancing the budget and other things, and doesn't need to wait, as the press release said yesterday, to urge lawmakers to do more, which they need to do also. But I believe that they need to reach into that pocketbook and deploy it at the very least to the employees in the industry in some sort of way, shape, or form. There are plenty of programs, whether it's the Restaurant and Lodging Association's HARP program or others, that are out there. The conduits are there. Fund them and get it out to the people in time for Christmas. And so we're going to be at least making our point to have that voice heard. At the local level, there's really no advocacy to be done. Our local commissioners, in particular in Wayne and Pike County, they have done more for our industry in a meaningful way for at least our company than what we've seen at any other level of government. So lots to be done, lots of hope in the new relief bill, lots of hope that the state will do things, but I think it's time for us to team up locally and figure out how can we use the resources that we have, not just money, but programs and benefits that are funded regularly to help out the team first and then focus on the business next. And that's going to be a New Year's discussion, but we'll get there, but we are going to be working on it.
What is your message for your customers?
I think for our customers, whether it be our local residents, our second homeowners, our visitors, which we're still having, is, be safe. And while you're being safe, still participate in the process. We are a an area that's dependent on tourism, and tourism is still happening, Christmas is still happening, New Year's is still happening. How it happens in a safe way, in a way that doesn't continue to spread but still supports local business, is really what we need to get the message out and do. So yes, at a selfish level, we'd like to say, buy gift cards from restaurants, not just ours, but all over the place, as holiday gifts, to the extent that you can. Participate in to-go programs. Maybe buy your wine or cocktails or beer at your local restaurant instead of the state store, and come up with ways to support. But I think also the area has local population that works in this industry. There are food drives, there are pantries, there are what is left of Toys for Tots programs that can still be done, safely during these COVID times. And while you are up here visiting our area, support those businesses, but also take a look at what nonprofits are out there. And because, it's our community that's going to need those nonprofits, we're going to be there, and we're going to put out some information on how we can support. And we're going to also ask some of our corporate partners to maybe match what we can do and try and participate in there. Sometimes a holiday gift could be a meaningful day of volunteering somewhere. And so whether it's spending your money or spending your time, I think those are the two things that we can ask people to do to help. It's a question I get asked the most in the last 24 hours, and so that's what I would say. And of course, part of this is just being thinking about our business and trying to say, yeah, we're out here to support you, and anything that you can do to support us is great, but support our team first. No one likes doing such a serious video at Christmas time, so what we do best is hospitality. And I think if you've watched this whole video, then the one thing that we would like to do is just say, Merry Christmas from the Settlers Inn and everybody at our company. Enjoy your Christmas and enjoy your New Year the best way you can. Thank you.